Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to talk about something that's been circulating lately online, and it's about Amy Roloff, one of the stars from Little People, Big World. There's been some confusion and concern, and I wanted to take a moment to explain everything as clearly and truthfully as possible. Recently, Amy shared that she had been in a car accident and was hospitalized. It's always a little scary to hear news like that, especially about someone so loved by fans. So I want to walk you through what happened, what Amy said about it, how she's doing now, and what it means going forward. So, to start, Amy Roloff has always been a really familiar face to fans of the TLC show Little People, Big World. The show started way back in 2006, and it followed the daily life of Amy and her then-husband Matt Roloff, along with their 4 children. What made the show unique was that it showed life from the perspective of a family, where some members live with dwarfism. Amy herself was born with achondroplasia, a form of dwarfism, and she's never let it stop her from living a full and independent life. Over the years, people have watched her go through marriages, business ventures, family changes, and more. So, naturally, when something happens to her, like a car accident, people pay attention and they care. Now, let's get into what actually happened. A few days ago, Amy opened up in a personal video and some social media posts about something she experienced recently. She revealed that she had been in a car accident. She didn't go into all the tiny details, but she was honest about it. She explained that the accident shook her up, and it resulted in a visit to the hospital. She said she was very lucky, though. She didn't suffer life-threatening injuries, but the experience was still serious enough that she felt it was important to share with her followers. According to what she said, the accident happened while she was out running errands, not doing anything particularly unusual. She was driving near her home, just going about her day, and another car collided with hers. It wasn't a high-speed crash, but it was enough to cause damage and send her to the hospital for precautionary checks. At first, she didn't want to talk about it too much. That's understandable. Something like that can be very emotional. It takes time to process, and it's not always easy to share personal moments like that when you have an audience of thousands or even millions. Eventually, she did feel ready to talk about it. In her usual way, she was calm, open, and real. She thanked everyone who had reached out with messages of support. She also mentioned how grateful she was to the first responders, to the hospital staff who took care of her, and to her husband Chris Merrick, who helped her get through it all. Amy is someone who values her independence, so she admitted that it was hard to have to rely on other people, even just for a short time. But she also made it clear that she knew how lucky she was that the accident wasn't worse. She also shared something that really stood out to me. She said that moments like this remind her of what really matters. After the accident, she found herself reflecting on how fragile life is, how quickly things can change, and how important it is to tell people you love them, to take care of your body, and to appreciate every single day. That kind of message hits home, especially because Amy has always been someone who speaks from the heart. She's not trying to be dramatic or to get attention. She's just being real. In the days since she shared this experience, Amy's been slowly returning to her normal activities. She's been spending time at home with Chris, resting, and focusing on her recovery. She's also been checking in with fans online, which is a good sign that she's feeling better. She even posted a few stories in her kitchen again, showing that she's back to doing some light cooking and baking, which is one of her favorite things to do. Now, I want to take a moment and talk about how people responded to the news. The overwhelming response was one of support. Fans left kind comments, sent prayers and well wishes, and shared their own stories about recovery and healing. It was really nice to see. The Roloff fan community has always been a pretty loyal group, and they showed up in a big way for Amy. It's moments like these that remind you how powerful community can be, even when it's online. That said, there was also some confusion out there. A few people started to spread exaggerated versions of the story. Some headlines popped up that said things like, Amy Roloff rushed to ICU, or Amy Roloff in critical condition after crash. Those headlines were not true. Amy herself made it clear that she was hospitalized briefly for observation, but not in critical condition. There was no need for surgery, no reports of serious injury, and certainly no emergency situation. But as we all know, Once something starts spreading online, it can be hard to control. So that's why I think it's important to repeat, Amy is okay. She was hurt, she was shaken, but she's recovering and she's safe. Another question people had was whether this would impact any upcoming plans she had, whether it was business, personal, or any future TV appearances. At this point, it doesn't seem like the accident will delay anything long-term. Amy has taken a bit of a break to rest, but that's totally normal and healthy. There's been no word about her canceling anything major. She seems determined to bounce back and to keep doing what she loves, even if she's moving a little slower for a while. And if you know anything about Amy Roloff, you know that she's a fighter. She's had to overcome plenty of challenges in her life. She's faced public judgment, personal heartbreak, and physical obstacles, and she's always come through stronger. I think this car accident, while unfortunate, is just another example of her strength. It reminded her, and us, that she's human, but it also showed us that she's tough, that she's grateful for life, and that she's not going to let a setback define her. I also want to talk a little bit about her relationship with Chris Merrick during all of this. Amy and Chris got married in 2021, and they've been really sweet together ever since. They travel, they go biking, they do home projects, and they just seem genuinely happy. Chris has been a great partner to Amy, and she often says how thankful she is for him. After the accident, she said that he was by her side every step of the way. He helped her get to appointments, reminded her to rest, and stayed positive throughout. It's always encouraging to hear stories about couples who support each other during tough times, and it's clear that Amy and Chris are a great team. Looking ahead, Amy says she plans to take things one step at a time. She wants to get back to full strength, but she's not rushing it. She's focusing on her health, spending time with loved ones, and keeping a positive mindset. She's also encouraging others to be careful out there, to drive safely, to stay alert, and to take care of themselves. She knows she got lucky, and she's not taking it for granted. So, that's the full story. Amy Roloff was in a car accident. She was hospitalized for a short time, but she's okay. She's healing, she's grateful, and she's moving forward. There's no scandal here, no drama, just a reminder that life can throw unexpected challenges our way, and that it's up to us to face them with courage and grace. Amy has always done that, and she continues to do that now. If you're someone who's been following Amy's journey for years, then you probably aren't surprised by how she's handled this. She's always been real. She's never pretended to be perfect. And she's always been willing to share both the good and the hard moments. That's what makes her relatable. That's why people love her. And that's why it's so good to hear that she's okay and taking care of herself. Thanks for watching and listening today. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any thoughts or if you want to send Amy your own message of support, feel free to leave a comment down below. We're all human, and sometimes sharing a kind word can make a big difference. I'll be back soon with more updates. Until then, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.